205's kind of popping these days. It was a little sad. It was Struggle City about a year ago.
A lot of killers. But no one that is a real promising threat to Jon Jones. Santos put on a fucking show.
Thiago
Santos
and blew out with one leg.
Yeah, and I knew his leg was blew out early on.
I didn't. And then when they told me he tore his ACL, MCL, meniscus, everything, I was like, and he still competed like that?
I could tell early in the first. He threw something early in the first. You could see his leg go.
Yeah, I could. You said something about it, right? Yeah,
something's going on.
Although I will say this, Santos is bad as fuck, and then before that, Anthony Smith, both amazing fighters. John's getting a little older. And I think there's a guy, and I think John's the greatest of all time, hands down, no argument. But I think there's starting to be a little chink in his armor, maybe.
You think so? What makes you say that?
Well, with Santos, there was some...
Santos a fucking savage, man.
Santos a savage for sure.
And John fought him stand-up for some strange reason. I was surprised, especially with Santos' fucked up leg, that John didn't take him down. That performance didn't
blow me away by John, by no means. And Santos had one leg.
I didn't understand that performance.
I don't know why he didn't take him down.
Right. I felt like John is one of the best wrestlers in the fucking sport. He took down Daniel Cormier.
He submitted fucking Lyoto Machida.
Yeah.
I mean, Vitor Belfort.
Rampage Jackson.
Ryan Bader. He's amazing.
Yeah, he could take him down.
I wonder what was going on there.
And the guy's got one knee. I mean, he can't even walk right.
The game plan was very strange. But I saw that and went, well, and here's where I was thinking with that is, will John go undefeated? Probably. I bet a good amount of money on that. But there's a guy I don't think you can sit on the outside and beat John, like a Reyes, like a guy who's super technical and long. You're not going to outsmart John on the outside. It's not happening. I think it's going to come from a guy like Johnny Walker who throws like a spinning heel kick and catches John.
Fighting someone good. Who's he fighting?
He's fighting your boy who was just on, the wrestler, the black dude.
Oh, Corey Anderson.
They were talking shit to each other. That's in New York.
Ooh, that's a good. Corey has crazy cardio.
That's a great fight.
Crazy cardio.
Let's see if Johnny Walker's, because if you beat Corey, you're ready to go. Yeah. You beat him, we're going Sizzler.
Yes. Or if Corey beats him, he's going Sizzler.
Corey's already there. Corey's already an elite guy.
Well, he is an elite guy, but he's not being talked about in terms of a title shot.
Because of his style.
That's very frustrating to him. Yeah, but that style is fucking hard to handle, man.
Doesn't matter. They're not in the business of that.
But look at Colby Covington. It's a similar style, just constant pressure.
Yeah, you're right.
And
but he talks a lot of shit. Colby did to get there.
Yeah. Well, Corey's a really nice guy. And
nice guys finish last, don't they?
Bullshit. Sometimes they win.
Really?
Yes.
He can win for sure.
He's the dark horse.
It's going to take a lot of work though.
Yep.
To get there. Let's say you have a guy who's like Conor McGregor. He's going to catapult to the front before a guy
you talking
who's
about
super
because
nice.
of the personality.
Yes. Catapult. The UFC's gonna go rocket ship go.
Isn't that crazy though that that's like part of the sport? Part of the sport is how much money can you generate, because it's not just about how well you perform as a fighter. It's about how many people are interested in you fighting.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But that's the nature of the beast,
Well,
isn't
that's why I hope that having a guy like Corey on my podcast or you having him on your podcast lets people know what a great guy this is. Like, this is a guy to root for. He's a great guy.
I agree.
And he can fight his fucking ass off.
I agree. But the casuals don't, for whatever reason, they don't gravitate towards it.
Well, if he wins, they will.
You just got to become undeniable, which he's slowly getting there.
Yes, he's slowly getting there. And he's got one of the best trainers in the fucking world. Mark Henry is the shit.
The best, yep.
And his camp is fucking fantastic. It's got Marlon and Frankie. And
he'll get a title shot.
I think so too. And
who's another nice guy?
Bring a fucking lunch. You better pack a lunch if you're fighting Corey.
But here's where nice guys don't finish last. If the guy they're fighting is down to play the game via DC Jon Jones. DC's as nice as they come. Yep. Doesn't talk shit. Him versus Stipe, especially the first fight, but that sells just off their talents. But if you can get a guy like Jose Aldo, Conor McGregor, Jose's nice as they come. Yep. Then you get this fucking Irish tidal wave, and everyone's like, I'll watch that. And then Jose Aldo, even though he's one of the greatest of all time at 45, everyone tuned in, and then he kind of took a lot of fans with him. Even though he lost, he was this huge star.
Yep.
That could happen for Corey with Jon Jones.
Yeah.
Although Jon Jones doesn't really talk shit. He's just a bad guy
He'll
outside.
talk shit to DC, though.
Him and DC hate each other.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
interesting.
Jon Jones, DC for the heavyweight title?
I think that's the future.
You do?
If Stipe wins in this fight that's next weekend, I think that Stipe fights Jon Jones as heavyweight, and Jon Jones moves up to heavyweight and tries to win the title.
Agree.
And then DC fights Jon Jones for the heavyweight title when Jon's the champion. If Jon can beat Stipe, or if Stipe can beat DC, and then Stipe can beat Jon Jones, and they have depending on how the fight goes. Look, the bottom line is, DC knocked Stipe senseless. 1 round. Knocked him out cold for the title.
It wasn't a dominating fight. I mean, he did knock him out.
Doesn't matter. Boom. Out goes the lights. He's the champ.
100%
He's the champ.
Out cold.
If he can beat him again, man, and say, Jon Jones!
He's going to. He's too smart.
Together.
Yeah.
If he does that, God damn.
Biggest fight in UFC history?
Yes.
At heavyweight?
It would be enormous. What is this? Pound for pound, Daniel Cormier. Number 2, Khabib. Number 3, Jon Jones.
Come on.
Settle down, folks. Settle down, whoever's doing that.
Come on, but also.
Jon Jones, listen to me. Jon Jones
they fought.
Beat him twice. He's undefeated. He's beaten every fucking human being he's ever competed against in real life. Okay? Every single one. There's one loss in his career. It's a nonsense loss they're trying to reverse. I 100% support reversing that loss.
100%.
At the very least, make it a no contest. Jon dominated that fight, smashed him. There's no fucking way that's a loss.
If I was the UFC, I'd just mark it as he's undefeated.
Yes.
I wouldn't even acknowledge
undefeated.
that. Yeah, I wouldn't even acknowledge that.
Fuck your athletic commissions.
Ask Matt Hamill how his night went.
Watch the fight.
Did you see Matt Hamill talk shit to
He's
Jon?
talking shit. Let's have a rematch. Like, what?
Bro.
Are you crazy?
Bro, you want to lose your fucking vision too? What are you doing?
Dude, just stop.
Get some shit for that.
Just stop all that.
Hey, dude, Hamill, be cool though.
Just
you know what I'm saying, dude?
Be cool.
Even Jon went, "Come on, bro." He wasn't even mean to him.
Listen,
Jon just goes, "Come on, bro. I'm never fighting
There's
you."
not even a conversation about who's the light heavyweight GOAT. There's no conversation.
No, what are we talking about? No, Jon. Anytime you talk pound for pound, Jon's clearly even that. It's
the
like
only one who was challenging for pound was Mighty Mouse, and Mighty Mouse. You know, the caveat was that he never beat anybody like Jon Jones beat. It wasn't the same caliber of fighter. It wasn't a DC. And then when he lost to Henry Cejudo, you go, well, and by the way, super close fucking decision loss.
Very close.
Could have gone either way.
Very close.
Could have gone to Mighty Mouse. So you
but
go,
loss is a loss.
Loss is a loss. It's like I see Demetrius Johnson and Mighty Mouse and Jon Jones as being an argument for number 1. But after that, there's no argument. And especially in light heavyweight, there's no argument.
Nothing.
It's Jon Jones. Everybody else can go pound sand. It's no one even close.
I think Jon goes to heavyweight. Everybody's fucked too. Although him versus DC at heavyweight is so much more interesting than light heavyweight because DC knocks dudes out, man.
Right, and Jon Jones, if he goes up, who knows if he will have the same cardio? Who knows if if he'll be as fast? There's something about guys going up. Like, look. Luke Rockhold, same story. He goes up to light heavyweight, and he's got all this extra bulk on him now.
See, I don't think Jon's going to go up to like 240. I think he's going to come in at a fucking lean, mean 225, 230. Doesn't cut any weight. That's what he trains at anyways. And he just fucking does work.
Yeah, maybe he just comes in and looks just like Jon Jones at light heavyweight. He just doesn't cut any weight.
And that's all. I mean, I don't know about now, but especially back in the day when I was at Jackson's, all he really did is go with heavyweights and ragdoll him.
Ragdoll. I'll tell you what, when he fought OSP, I talked to Jackson afterwards, and Greg was saying, I don't like the fact that he's been doing all this powerlifting. And he goes, and I feel like that played a part in this fight.
He got so jacked.
He did get giant. But I didn't think that. I felt that it was OSP. I feel like OSP rose to the occasion. He's a dangerous guy. He's a super athletic guy. He's big. He's got a powerful left kick. You know, and he's an awkward fighter. OSP fights awkward, and you fuck up, and he catches you with a left hook.
Southpaw, explosive, impossible to take down typically.
He's a fucking strong guy, man. And
yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're just not giving these guys enough credit because I think we think so high of Jon. Yes. Whenever it's close, I'm like, Jon had an off night. Or maybe these guys are really fucking good.
I think OSP rose to the occasion. I have a lot of respect for OSP. When I look at that fight, I think OSP fought a great fight. And he fought with a fucking broken arm. Okay? He fought the entire last round with a broken arm and never even said a thing about it. He was fighting with a fucking broken forearm.
He's a beast,
He's a beast. And that's why I think Jon didn't look so good in that fight. I disagree that he didn't look good because of the weightlifting, but I don't know him the way Greg Jackson
Here's
knows
the
him.
only caveat to that, and I don't want to open this can of worms. That was also the first time he's been under strict testing. That's what the naysayers would say. Well, that is the first time maybe little Pico wasn't around. And
I don't know.
Here's my defense of that being a Jon Jones dick sucker. Even with you can fucking fill up anyone who he fights on whatever PDs you want. He's still beating them. Whatever he's doing, whether he's taking things or not, you could give his freaking opponents as much as they want to. They're not beating him.
That's a tough argument, though. I don't know if that's I don't know if that's necessarily true. You fill up Thiago Santos full of fucking Anadrol 50, he might run right through
Talking about that Brazilian acai. Yeah, you might be right.
He might
kick his head off.
He might throw some fucking
that Vitor Belfort spinning kick.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
I still think John. He's too smart, too technical.
I don't know.
I don't either.
Look,
but we don't have to know.
We don't have to know
because that testing is strict.
Yeah, I legitimately believe that what he got was through tainted means, and I don't even know if it was supplements. You know, the big theory was that he got cocaine that was laced with creatine.
I hope
cocaine
that's
gets
the
cut
problem.
with creatine. Apparently, according to someone who I know who really knows their shit, it was deep. I mean, this is an expert. He said this is very common that when you buy cheap creatine often has other shit in it because you're buying it from China and from other places that have unscrupulous mixing thing. And listen, as one of the owners of Onnit, I know that we never had our stuff test positive for steroids, but what we did have is when we looked at the early batches of Alpha Brain, we had it independently tested. You know, when Aubrey and I first opened Onnit, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing in terms of we hadn't run a supplement company before, and there was a lot of learning to do. And one of the things that we learned was that when you're buying stuff and then you're having stuff mixed, the people that are mixing it, if you don't get the very best people, you're getting people that mix stuff that don't clean out their vats.
So you might get Winstrol in there.
You can get anything in there.
That's that shit I want.
We never got steroids in ours, but probably because with the stuff we're buying is nootropics, which are just nutrients that enhance brain function. So the people that were selling stuff were selling similar things, vitamins and the like. So, but we did get our stuff tainted, in a sense, with other nutrients that weren't supposed to be in there. So then we had to do some investigation, and then we figured out what the problem was, and we adjusted our methods, and we changed the people we work with, and we did a lot of different things. But if you're buying cheap creatine, that's what Coke dealers use.
Why is he buying cheap creatine? Are you saying the Coke from a shady dude?
Yeah, he's buying New Mexico Coke.
God,
I'm not saying he is.
You're a millionaire,
He might
dude.
be. Listen, I've smoked some weed from some fucking shady people.
Preach.
And I'm a millionaire too.
Preach.
People bring me some weed. If they're my friend, I'm like, all right, bro, smoke some weed.
You ain't lying.